In this table, we can understand that the Muslim community, even though in number wise they are having 13% or 14%, but they are getting representation in every area, even in education and the basic facilities and the job reservations like that things, they are lagging behind. Okay, let us move to next part of the lesson. Recognizing that Muslim in India were lagging behind in terms of various development indicators, the government set up the high-level committee in 2005, chaired by Justice Rajinder Sachar. Please underline who was the chairman of that committee, high-level committee. That is Rajinder Sachar. The committee examined the social, economical and educational status of Muslim community in India. For what they made a high level committee to discuss with or to examine the social, economical and educational status of Muslim community. The report discussed in detail the marginalization in the community. It suggested that on a range of social, economic and educational indicators, the situation of the Muslim community is comparable to that of other marginalized communities like scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. For example, according to the report, the average years of schooling for Muslim children between age of 7 to 16 is much lower than that of the other socio-religious communities. When we are comparing with the other people, when they are attending schools by 6 years to 16 years, means the first standard to 10th standard education, maximum students they are going to school, but in Muslim community it is very less in number. Economic and social marginalization experienced by Muslim has other dimensions as well. Like other minorities, Muslim customs and practices are sometimes quite distinct from what is seen in the mainstream. So the festivals and the celebration related to their festivals, it is entirely different from the other mainstream of the society. Hindu society, their festival, their custom and the even housemaking or the food style, it is entirely different from the mainstream of the society. Not all Muslims may wear a burja, sport a long beards and fez, and these become ways of to identify all the Muslims. If we are seeing the Muslim, we cannot identify them if it is lady or gent or a school going children, then also we can identify them because of their dressing style, their walking style, talking style from the. Here in Tamil Nadu, I don't think they are having their own separate language. But if you are going to Karnataka or in Maharashtra, like that area, where other states, those who are speaking their own mother tongue, especially in Maharashtra, I observed that Muslims are talking in even at home or outside, they are their mother tongue like that, Hindi only they are speaking. They know Marathi because they are studying in the schools as a language, but they normally at home and in the marketplaces they are speaking Hindi. At the same time, Hindus they are speaking Marathi. From that language itself, we can understand them. Tamil Nadu, I don't have that much experience with Muslim students, and they are able to speak Tamil also. They are communicating with Tamil with the people, those who are coming in the marketplaces, I think. Then from the dressing, the ladies they are wearing a parda or burja, a long one, and gents they are wearing a special type of kurta, and from that or keeping the cap on their head like that. Like that many symbols are having to them. So from that itself we can identify them, they are as a Muslims. Because of this, they tend to be identified differently, and some people think they are not like the rest of us. Quite natural, because of their dressing style, their talking style, we will feel like that they are not from our group, they are from outside like that. Often this become an excuse to treat them unfairly and discriminate against them. Then, do you remember reading of your class 7th book about the Ansari were finding it difficult to rent a house? When he came to town because of his job, and he was searching his one rental house, and he went many places. Then he was people was not ready to give house to him because he is from Muslim community. Then what last the broker he is saying, middle person saying like that, please change your name, then your and your Mrs. name, then you will get house like that. And Sari said, I don't want house like that, because after all they will come to know I am not a Hindu like that. Then this social marginalization of Muslim is in some instance had led to them migrating from places where they lived, often leading to the ghettoization of the community. Sometimes this prejudice lead to hatred and violence, because of the in the society they are not getting the proper position. That's why they used to migrate. Or we can see in the major cities like Salem or Coimbatore, like that area, they are they are living together in some special areas. And I am not saying like that here the small villages, where they are living, they will live together, many families will be there. And in some area they won't live because of the particular situation, they want to live together because they are facing these different types of marginalization in the society, and their food style like that things entirely different from the mainstream of the society. And what is ghettoization, we can see that one in the ghetto is an area or locality that is populated largely by the members of the particular community. So we can see, if you are going to Gulbarga area or in Salem area, we can see many areas it is crowded with the Muslim community. Ghettoization refers to the process that lead to such a situation. This may occur due to the various social, cultural and economical reasons, because we already said their food style it is entirely different, their festivals are different. So what they want to do, if they want to celebrate together, they want to live together in a particular place. I am not saying like that other they are scattered here and there, like that some families are there, but maximum area where Muslims are living, they will live together. Not only that one, if you are looking to our cities, we can see some lines will be there, like that one street it is with a full of Brahmins, another one street it is full of this scheduled caste, another some street it is with a full of Muslims. Why? They are having their own particular custom, so they are thinking to live together in a particular area, then they can follow their own rules and regulations in that area. Maybe housekeeping style, or the we know the column and other things what we are making in everyday morning. So they are trying to live together. The Muslims families, they won't eat non-veg normally. What we are seeing here in Tamil Nadu and other area, and they were because of the smell of the non-veg and other things, they don't like to live with other community. Normally they will choose in one area to live to them. Like that things we can see if we are observing keenly. Not nowadays also, the olden houses what we are seeing. The city is shifting from one place to another, means because of the development, it is city is enlarging and the area it is widening, and where the old city was, in that area we can see all this separation in the making in the houses of the particular community. But nowadays those who are making the houses like apartments and like that things, they are not caring all these things, they are trying to live where they are getting the space according to that. So what it is, ghettoization, and we understood that one, making the they are living in one particular place, they are trying to keep themselves away from the mainstream of the society. Then sometimes this community feeling, it is coming to in the name of hatred as well as violence. Some areas, even in India, we know that when it will start up the Hindu-Muslim fight, or Christian-Muslim fight, or Christian-Hindu fight, that we can't predict. Like there some areas are there, much tension areas, and in the time of election, we know they are conducting the election in the state in means the 3 times like that. Means the first time some districts they will conduct election, the next time some other district, and last is like that. In 3 levels they will conduct election normally, because to keep the police and army to be ready to keep law and order in the society. Then one experience it is given that you can read by yourself. And in the above section of this chapter, we saw how in the case of Muslim community, there is a link between economic and social marginalization. Earlier in the chapter, you read about the situation of Adivasi. So we discuss about 2 groups. One is marginalization of Adivasi, and the same thing we have seen in the 7th standard book. One was the book written this Judhan written by the Om Prakash Vatmigi. He was from the this scheduled caste and means the scheduled caste group, and how he was suffering in his school. Then Ansari, one person who how he suffered in the society to get his house, rental house. Then we studied in 7th standard about ladies marginalization also. Then the experience of all these group point to the fact that marginalization is a complex phenomena requiring a variety of strategies, measures and safeguards to redress this situation. What methods we are using to help the Adivasi or the scheduled caste or Muslim or ladies, that may not be same. We want to make the different way to solve this problem. Different methods we want to accept, or we want to take different safeguards to protect the special groups. Then all of us have a stake in the protecting the rights defined in the Constitution, which rights? Fundamental rights, and the laws and the policies framed to realize these rights. Without these, we will never be able to protect the diversity that makes our community unique, nor realize the state's commitment to promote equality to all. So what we want to do, we want to give the fundamental rights to the people, and those who are lagging that one, we want to give them, want to make some laws and policies to protect themselves, to give some provisions to them, like a reservation and other things. Then only we can keep the equality or justice. We can show justice to the communities, those who are lagging behind. Then come to conclusion. In this chapter, we have tried to understand what it means to be marginalized community. We have tried to look at this through the experience of different marginalized communities. There are different reasons for each of these communities being marginalized. Each experience marginalization in different ways. We have also seen that marginalization is linked to experiencing disadvantages, prejudices, powerlessness. In India, there are several more marginalized communities like Dalits, or whom marginalization results to having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. So because of marginalization, what is happening? We are becoming getting a special social status, or that is that also low status, and at the same time we are not getting the equal access to the resources what is there in the society, like education facilities or health facilities, job opportunities, like that. That is the problem with marginalization. Yet the lives of the marginalized people can or do change. Thus, no one is marginalized all the times in exactly the same way. So, each and every group, they are feeling the marginalization in different way in different times. If we go back to 2 examples of marginalization we have discussed, we will see that each of these group has a long history of struggle and resistance. And if we are looking to the Adivasis and Muslims, some people, they are better living in a better condition than the ordinary people or the mainstream of the society. They are, for example, some of the people, they have become the prime minister or president of India, and they are means having the doctorate and other like that. Many some families are there even from tribal community as well as from the this Muslim community also. Then also we can see, when we are comparing with the total population representation in the country, according to that they are not developed, and we can see that their struggle it is started before itself, in the time of Mughal emperor, or before that onwards they was struggling in the society, that we can see. Marginalized communities want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness while having access to rights, development and other opportunities. In the next chapter, we will read about how different groups have the confront marginalization, how we can solve, or how they are living with these marginalized communities and how they are trying to develop themselves, that we can see in the next lesson. By this we are completing this lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.